Hello, Uniform Moz here. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. I'm going to make a ephemera holder. I'm actually going to use it for some of my stickers, as my sticker collection is getting out of control. So I came across this piece of plastic leftover packaging, and it was just a piece. It was about A4 size, and it had these two little pockets here, and I thought, wow, that could really be handy. It was a bit longer, but it was a bit flimsy. So what I did was I cut it to size, and then I backed it with a piece of pocket plastic. Now, I found these pockets in my stash. I don't know how long I've had them, but they're quite sturdy. They're open on two sides, and they're A4 in size. And I thought maybe I could actually use some of these to make an ephemera holder. So I measured out a piece to match this, and I actually just used the sewing machine and stitched it on. So I just stitched it on. It was a spare piece. I didn't actually cut one of these up. It was just a spare bit. So I've made an ephemera holder here, and by the time I stitch it together, I'll have two pockets this side and two pockets this side. And then I had another brainwave. I thought maybe I could use these and actually make more pages for an ephemera holder. So I did. So what I did was I cut this strip off to open it, and I cut this out, so I had two A4 pieces of plastic. Now, you don't particularly have to use these. These are quite heavy duty. You could just use your bog standard plastic sheet protectors, but sometimes I find these a little flimsy. Now, these ones are actually quite good quality, but you can get even thinner ones, and I just find that they don't hold up to the rigors of putting things in and out. Anyway, so I cut the seam off, and then I cut it open, so I had two pieces of A4 plastic, and then I actually folded them up, folded the bottom up to make it 5. So I folded the bottom up about 4 inches to make it 5 by 12. And then I did two of them out of one of these, and then I stitched them back to back. So I've actually ended up with, once I stitch it down the middle, I've ended up with one pocket here, one big pocket here, and a pocket here on either side. So I've ended up with 6 pockets out of this one piece of stuff. I've sewn it with the sewing machine, but if you didn't want to, you could just use some really sturdy tape, stick it down and flip it over and stick it down again. I think that would work. Double-sided tape might work, but I find that sometimes, unless it's a really good quality one, it doesn't hold. So my plan is to put them all together. So I've got the original one I made, which was flimsy. So I'm going to put that in the middle. And I've made 3 others. And I'm going to actually put them together. I'm going to make a cover, and I'm going to stitch it down the centre and make so it'll be like a booklet. I might have to put a closure on it or a rubber band, because these are quite stretchy, but I'll end up with something that's got quite a lot of pockets. I'm going to make the cover out of scrapbooking paper, and I'm actually going to line it with a piece of this plastic so I can have more pockets on the inside of the cover. Anyway, so I've made 4. I want to make another 1 out of this and the cover. So come along with me and watch how I made my plastic ephemera holders, and then we'll put it all together. Okay, so I have put the signature and stitched it up. It was a bit hard going through the machine, as I probably OD'd on the plastic pockets, but I got it through. So I'll just unclip it. And you may have noticed that I have quite a bit of excess here on the cover. I left that because I do believe we're going to have a little bit of journal creep. So I wanted to be able to trim it off without actually having the inner pages stick out. Now look, it's probably not going to stay shut really well. I'll probably have to put a clasp on it, but I actually think it worked. So we've got a big pocket at the back here and a pocket at the front, and then we've got a pocket there, we've got a pocket in the middle and a pocket in the front, and that's for every page. So that goes right through to the back where I've got the same. I've got a pocket at the back and then I've got a pocket at the front. So I made the pockets quite deep because I have got other ephemera holders and the pockets are really shallow, and I find that things like stickers and that, if it gets a bit bulky, they don't stay in. So this would be interesting to see how it works out in use, because I mean the pockets are there and it's going to be quite bulky, so that's okay. But I was just going to get the scissors and trim this off, which I might do. I'm not fussed about it being super perfectly, wonderfully beautiful, because it is just a ephemera holder for me at home. I probably could have made it, one of these less, but I mean that works. I might round the edges. Having that little bit of spine there I think really helps because it is quite bulky, so it was just lucky that I had that piece of leftover laminate stuff. I mean you could do a lot with the cover, but I'm not particularly fussed. What I might do is I might actually put a closure there. I'm not sure what I will do. I might even just put a hole and put a piece of elastic through, and that'll help it. But the elastic is really good because it also will expand. So once it gets quite bulky with my stickers in, the elastic will help it expand. Anyway, I had a go and I made an ephemera holder. I will now put the elastic on and we'll see what it looks like.